Yeah, so the reason I'm late is because this basket of food just fell off my table and landed basically right on my coffee. I'm gonna have to turn that down just a second. That's gonna be a bit distracting otherwise. I do have my iPad set up here so that I can read comments and respond to them if anyone chooses to do that. The wind's picking up. It's pretty intense here. There was no pun intended. I'm trying to make jokes to get through because this is really challenging. This entire situation could be prevented if the NDIS could just, help me to get the right supports in place so that I'm not out here in this tent in the middle of this crazy weather event that's going on. I feel like, alright, I had notes, I'd written notes down, but the reason I don't have them is because this fell because of the wind and landed on my coffee, and then my coffee spilled on my actual notes for the live stream and wet my iPad and kind of just went all over the floor, so I needed to clean that up first. But yeah, this is not very safe because the wind's really strong, and this is heavy, right? Like it probably doesn't look heavy, but it is because it's got lots of food in it. It's like a pasta thing in it. And falling from this, you can't even see where my hand is, but from the force of the wind, that could have knocked me out. That honestly could have knocked me out. Thank goodness it didn't. So I've spent pretty much all day inside my tent. I haven't been able to go anywhere because I've been worried that it's going to get blown away. There's been leaks. I've been trying to fix all of the leaks. Basically securing all of the parts of the tent that I can. I just heard something rip, and I'm kind of hoping it's not my fly because the fly over my tent is holding, basically, I don't know, it's stopping the water from getting in. So yeah, just don't mind me occasionally putting my arms up to try and stabilize the corners of the tent. Yeah, this is basically my reality. I'm stuck in this little square. The wind just hit me in the back of the head then. I'm stuck in this little square, basically just, I don't know, I feel like a sitting duck. I'm literally a sitting Jaz though. Humor's helping me cope, but at the same time, humor can only do so much. And at the end of the day, I'm on crutches, right? I'm literally on crutches, not at this current moment, but in general, because I have a nerve problem that has worsened because I don't have anything to sit on. Nothing proper that's giving me any sort of way to alleviate pain or, help me avoid sitting on my ankles. Yeah, so that's basically what's happened, and now my arms are getting sore from using the crutches because I'm constantly having to, use them to get from A to B. And I'm worried that the nerve problem could be permanent, which would really suck because I need my foot, right? It's like a problem with my foot. And the doctor said that with the recent tests, it was something to do with a sensory nerve in my foot, basically. I don't have access to the, because my phone's, obviously I'm using my phone to do the stream, so trying to remember off the top of my head with ADHD exactly what the problem is tricky to do. But yeah, look, I'm not backing down, I'm not giving up, even though some days I feel like, some days I feel like my hope has been, torn and taken from me because of the NDIS, but then other days I'm like, you know what, if I don't speak up for what's happening to me, if I don't continue advocating, then this is just going to be someone else in this situation that doesn't have a chance because they haven't had any experience with advocacy. They wouldn't know where to start, and I don't want to see that happen, right? So yeah, the tent itself, it's holding up. but I don't know if it's going to hold up much longer if the wind keeps picking up. The fact that it's kind of, yeah, it's coming in bursts, but the fact that it's already pushed things off the table, that's concerning. I haven't gone out to check what that rip sound was that I heard earlier, but fingers crossed it was nothing serious. Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't hold up, I've got an entire square space filled with stuff and I'm on crutches, so and I've obviously got my assistant's dog who's been sleeping most of the day away. We had thunder earlier, and that kind of freaked her out a little bit. She could feel the rumbling from the thunder and it scared her. So I've been keeping her warm and stuff and making sure that she feels safe, because I think just, you know, her watching the wind blowing the tent from side to side was kind of scaring her a bit. So yeah, she's gone back to sleep now, thankfully. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this isn't easy. This is really challenging. But in saying that, I've been through so much in my life that it's like, you know, at this point in my life, like, what else is gonna go wrong? And I probably shouldn't say that, because usually something else happens. But you know what? Whatever does happen, I'm gonna stand up and face it, even though I'm on crutches. I will do everything that I can to keep advocating and fighting for change. I'm still alive, right? Like, if I'm still here, then that means that there's still some hope that the system's going to change. And I think the frustrating part is, I'm trying not to get distracted by the wind right now, but the frustrating part is that there are people out there, like I was saying before, that don't have this opportunity to speak up for themselves. You know, this platform, this way of communicating that I'm trying so hard to just focus on talking and not the wind, because I do have a bit of a fear that a branch is going to crash down on me. But you know what, if that happens, hopefully someone here can just like call SES or 000. Actually, that would be horrible. I'd hate to be doing a live stream and then just like, you know, something bad happens. I would feel for you guys watching that. Like, that's not quality viewing. That's traumatic. Like, yeah. So, okay. All right. So yeah, yeah. There's people out there that don't have the opportunity like I do to communicate their needs and to explain what's going on for themselves. And if that happens to be you, if you're feeling that way, I don't want you to feel like you've got to go through this on your own. There are people like myself that are going through hard times as well, and that doesn't take away from what you're going through. But if anything, hopefully feeling less alone, you know, might help you to get through whatever it is you're going through. And again, I'm trying to not focus on the wind right now. But yeah, let's see. I had this list of things to talk about, but it got ruined by coffee because this fell on me. Well, not on me, but the coffee got me, I suppose. It was a residual effect, or a ripple effect of things. I really wish that I had a list to go off, because it is hard to keep talking without a list. But I'm going to have a sip of coffee and try not to think about this wind. And I'm getting notifications that people are sharing my stream. Thank you so much for supporting me and being there for me. Like, honestly, my petition has over 1,300 signatures on it now, and that is incredible. I couldn't do it without you guys. So if you haven't signed it, please do, and if you'd like to share it, that would mean the world. This is terrifying, not gonna lie. I don't know what's scarier, chatting to you guys whilst going through this. Actually, you know what, I should like lean into this and just be like, you know what, I'm not alone. There are people watching, so I'm not alone in this at all. But yeah, Sorry if I keep getting distracted by the wind. It's pretty bad. Actually, I can kind of hear it. You know, you can like hear the wind coming through the trees. It's I'm just a bit worried that it's gonna get really bad in a second, so I'm holding the corner of my tent. Yeah, but the petition has over 1,300 signatures, and that means so much to me because it just brings us closer and closer to having, you know, the government actually recognizing that, hey, a lot of people feel strongly about this and people with disabilities should not be living in tents while they're at the tribunal. That's just not okay. Why is that happening? I wish I could tell you why I'm in a tent. Well, we do know the reason. It's because I didn't get my support needs met. But like, why is it that this is okay? Like, honestly, what makes this situation okay right now? And also, what would I do if a branch fell on me right now because of the wind? I don't know. I would probably have to stop the live stream. That's for sure. I'd have to call SES and 000, but like, where would I go? What would I do? How would I survive if my tent just collapses? You know, that's the reality that I'm in. And I think that in big part, we've really got to sort of band together and just keep sharing the petition. That's all I can really think of at this point. Like, tell your friends, tell your family, talk to the media, reach out to politicians, like, do something to spread awareness of the situation. Yeah, so I guess sorry, this is just, I want to say technical difficulties, but it's the weather. It's the weather. The weather is being harsh right now. But you know what, I'm just going to have a sip of coffee because there's not much I can do. Okay, that was 2 sips of coffee. But yeah. Okay, so I guess what I'm thinking we can chat about now is, well, my idea going into this live stream was, yeah, I want to update everyone about my situation. I still don't have, I don't have access to legal representation for the tribunal, which is causing problems because I really don't understand the tribunal process. And the only thing I guess I can say from being in the tribunal at this point is that, like, I have now learned that tribunals are not an overnight process. They take months. They take so long that a participant like myself is still living in the same tent that they were living in last year. At one point last year, I was in this tent. I guess that goes to show how unprepared the system is for a disability crisis. It's horrible. It needs to change. That's all I can really say. Because if I go to say anything else, then I'm probably going to say things that YouTube might not like me saying. And that's just the honest truth at this point. But yeah, I also wanted to do this stream and see how long I could do this stream for. So if there are people watching and you know, don't feel like you need to stay for the entire stream, because I could be here for a while, so you could just go do something, come back and check in again. But yeah, like, the longer I guess I do this stream, I feel like the longer I can spread awareness about the situation. So yeah. But there is a lot more information in the description of the video, so please have a look there as well. I wish that I had a little sign up that, you know, explained the situation better. But yeah, there's a link in the description, so yeah. Right, okay, what else can I chat about? Does anyone have any suggestions? Please pop those in the comments. I'm an open book. I'm happy to talk about my experiences with the NDIS as much as possible. I want you guys to know the truth about what's happened to me, what led me here, what I've been through, and all of those things. I really want to share my experiences because I don't want this to happen to other people. No one deserves this. And enough is enough, right? Like, there has to be a point where it's like, okay, the system has traumatized me this much and put me through so much. I'm living in a tent in a severe weather event. Like, what next? Like, when does this end? It should have ended long before it even started, to be honest. Yeah, so if anyone would like to comment, please do. I'm just having a look. Oh, I don't think I have super chat. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I don't have super chat. I haven't unlocked that perk yet. Working on it. Realistically, I wish that I could be making videos about neurodiversity and all of the amazing things that our brains can do, and, you know, chatting about the things that our brains struggle with and all of these relatable videos. But no, I'm in a tent. I also wish that I could be making music because I am a musician and composer, but no, I'm living in a tent. And another thing I really wish I could be doing in my life is publishing my book and actually finishing it and putting it out there in the world. But no, I'm making this video. Yeah. What else do I wish I could be doing in my life? Well, I would really like to not have nerve damage in my foot. That would be great. Like, I feel as though the world has, you know, kind of dealt me a pretty bad hand. But in saying that, I've developed so much resilience that it's like, thanks, world. It just literally got hit in the back of the head then for saying that. It felt like no, but yeah, okay, I'm gonna have some more coffee. Then I remind myself I should be grateful for this tent, and I am, to a degree. I really am. Like, if I didn't have the tent, where would I be? Sitting here in the rain without the tent? Possibly. You know, and I've managed to, like, secure some of the leaks. Like, there was water dripping from the top of the tent. There was water getting in down near where the power cable is, and that was a little bit scary. But I've fixed that as best I can. What else can we chat about? I really would like to mention... Oh, okay, so on Facebook lately, I've been getting ads popping up for SDA houses, like short-term accommodation as well, medium-term accommodation, specialist disability accommodation homes. And the NDIA keeps saying, we don't fund housing. Well, that doesn't make sense given the amount of ads I'm getting. Just give me 1 second to, like, secure the tent wall here. Yeah, so hang on a sec. I'm just worried that the wind's gonna come back again. My arms are so sore from using crutches, but like this is pretty much my only way of making sure that the tent poles don't break. Just try and put my arm out and stop it from, you know, snapping in half. And try not to think about a tree branch snapping me in half when it falls. It won't, okay, it won't. Alright, yeah, so the ads I've been getting on Facebook, yeah, they have houses. There are disability providers with homes, with apartments. I just saw one today for a high-rise apartment that you know, would have 10 apartments in the one building, and then there would be someone on call living there. That would be ideal. Like that, I mean, you know, things like that would be ideal for people. But the thing is, if you don't have that funding, you can't access that if the NDIA don't put the funding in there. But then it's like, well, you guys say you don't do housing, so make up your mind, because there are no disability specific housing options. I'm not sure where to find that. I don't know where to go. You know, there are providers that help people with housing, you know, just general crisis accommodation services, but do they understand disabilities? Not always. And there are, you know, there are no specific people working within these organizations that I've ever come across that understand disabilities and are there for people with disabilities. You're just lucky if you find someone that understands it, and, you know, you don't even get a say. You don't even get a choice. I'm just pushing this back because it's slowly been creeping forward from the wind. It's a shoe rack on top of a table that was holding all of my food containers that has slowly been getting pushed over by the wind. But yeah, this fell out of it from the wind and landed on my table earlier, so my coffee went everywhere. Yeah, so that's why the stream was late to start. But yeah, I think the hardest part really is, like, honestly, it's almost like the NDIA saying we don't do housing, but then I feel like I'm being gaslit because I'm getting all these Facebook ads showing the houses. How is that even, how does that work? Thank you, whoever just did a thumbs up on the video. I appreciate that. You're awesome, and thank you for thumbs upping. Thumbs upping is not a word, is it? It is now. But yeah, it's frustrating because then there's these, okay, so then there's providers, right? There's disability providers that have houses, and they're like, you can stay here, but you need to have ILO funding. And that's the funding I'm trying to get, right? That's what the NDIA said, oh, you're not able to have that. We're denying you access to that. And it's like, but I have my reports from my specialists, and everything outlines that I need this funding. ILO stands for individualized living options, and I need something very individualized due to my disabilities. But no, I can't access that. It's ridiculous. It honestly really is. Thank you again, whoever's thumbs up the video. I love live streams because when I mess up words, I just got to roll with it. Like, I can't edit that out. I'm disabled, but yeah, so, yeah, I just, there are ILO houses as well, but then they're like, okay, you need to have 6 hours a day of support to live in this, right? What if someone needs more than that or less than that, but they still need the ILO house? Where do they fit in the box? There is no box for them. Like, they don't have options, and this again is why people are falling through the cracks, because there is no options for people like me. And I'm curious how many more people out there are experiencing this. Like, how many more of us are going through this? And from what I'm hearing and seeing on Facebook from the people that have reached out to me, I have literally, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. I'm getting tagged in things on social media, and it's like, yeah, thank you. The more people that are aware of this situation, the better. So I don't want to get distracted from what I was saying, but I have ADHD, so that's very likely going to keep happening. Especially seeing as my coffee spilled and I lost everything, all of my notes that I'd written out earlier. But yeah, like, when you think about it, people with disabilities, like, our standard of living is determined by the supports we can get, right? If we don't have the supports that we need in place, then how can we thrive? We're just barely surviving in a world that wasn't designed for our brains, right? And how does that, like, if you look at human rights and you look at disability rights, you know, the United Nations conventions of, you know, people with disability and things, how do we fit in to that? Like, is the world accessible to us? No, for the most part. Is the world slowly moving towards change? Yes. I just got tagged again in another message. Thank you. Whoever's sharing, people are sharing my video, so I'm really grateful for that. Thank you. I can't read every single notification properly because it's on my phone. It's quite small, but I'm seeing like I'm seeing like flashes of notifications. But yeah, I feel like yeah, like, how can we even fully participate in society if we're not being thank you. I've just a comment. Thank you, user 1997. I appreciate that so much. All of the kind words and the comments and just people genuinely showing their support for my situation does mean so much to me, so thank you. I'm doing the best I can given the situation, and I'm just trying to keep on fighting and standing up for you know, people with disabilities and for myself, really, so that my story is shared far and wide. The wind is getting bad again. I think the rain's sort of slowed down a little bit for the time being. It's still raining, but the wind is just what's worrying me, to be honest. But yeah, I'm relatively, well, I was gonna say I'm relatively dry and warm, but I'm actually kind of cold at the moment. So my coffee is also cold, but that's okay. It's still giving me the dopamine hit that I need. I can deal with cold coffee. But yeah, I feel as though, look, how can we really, if society is not accommodating us, how can we truly live our best lives? You know, and like, what makes it okay for me to be living in a tent? I mean, if I did it by choice, that would make sense, right? Like, I would choose to be here. But no, I'm an autistic ADHDer living in a tent because the NDIS has not helped me. That's a problem, because they should have helped me. They know my disabilities, they know my vulnerabilities, they know what I need. Why am I here? That, yeah, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take a lot more signatures on the petition, but I feel like if we can keep on, you know, standing up and speaking up about what we need as people with disabilities. Not only that, but if we don't have a disability, we speak up for the people that do. We ask them what they need. We find out, and then, you know, together we can create more opportunities for people with disabilities to be heard. And we can also, you know, start to understand other people ourselves. You know, just because we have a disability doesn't always mean we understand every little thing about our disabilities either. So it is honestly an experience where we just need to grow and learn from one another and start to come together to just, I don't know, like, be heard more, you know. But yeah, so, okay, there are a couple of other topics that I wanted to chat about, but because my coffee spilled on my list, that's why I'm a little bit stuck at the moment. But that being said, you know what, I feel as though there is so much more I could say in regards to our rights to have, you know, housing that meets our needs, our right to have supports that understand us. And I suppose as well, this is a problem within the NDIS that I've wanted to chat about for a while, and it's awesome to see so many people watching. Hello everyone, and please comment if you'd like me to chat about anything particular. If you have anything you'd like to say, read the description in the video for more information about what I'm chatting about, and thank you for joining me as well. But yeah, like, I feel as though oh great, my brain's done that thing where I forget what I'm talking about whilst talking about it, which is perfect for a live stream because I can't reverse, I can't go back in time and remember where I was going with the thought that I had. If anyone knows the tangent that I was on, please comment because I've forgotten. But you know what, for the most part I think I'm doing pretty well because the wind's bad, the rain's actually coming back a little, and I'm managing to stick to this live stream for half an hour already. Wow, that's awesome. I didn't think I could chat for half an hour. I'm probably gonna lose my voice, but will I keep doing it? Hell yes I will. I'm not gonna let the system drag me down any more than it has. I feel like I'm getting more confidence, like just knowing there's people watching. Thank you. Being homeless isn't fun, but knowing that I have support makes it so much more bearable. And I'm just going to hold the corner of the tent for a second before it potentially, I'm just worried that like the corner bit is going to cave or collapse because that would be horrible. And I would have to stop the stream if that happened. So yeah, I have a petition. I also have a GoFundMe as well, and they're in the description. So if you'd like to help out, if you're able to help out, please do. And I've also, I'm trying to remember what I was saying before, but no one's commented, so. I know I was chatting about people with disability and our rights and things like that. Yeah, I feel like, alright, this may not be where I was going with that thought before, but the world itself would have so much more colour in it, I suppose. So many more opportunities if people with disabilities had the option to just be heard. You know, if that makes sense. Like, if we could just be ourselves and give to the world the things that we're good at, then the world would be a much better place because there would be variety. People would be able to express themselves better. And I think that, you know, self-expression is such an important tool when it comes to, you know, helping our mental health, because if, especially as an autistic person, but when our thoughts are all bottled up inside our head, right, that's a recipe for me for disaster. But when I have a creative outlet where I can let those feelings go and put them into something constructive, where I'm able to just, hang on, the wind, but where I'm able to just be myself and let those thoughts out in a positive way, that's where real sort of growth can happen as well. We can learn more about ourselves, we can become more comfortable within ourselves, and, you know, we can find our place in the world. Because, yeah, like, bottling it up is really, honestly, for me, I don't feel like it's hard to bottle things up, you know, because society has kind of made us feel like we have to mask most of our lives. We often hide our symptoms and try to so-called fit into the world. But if we could have a place where we could just be ourselves and express our truth, people would understand us better for a start, but we would also be able to learn to accept ourselves better and understand ourselves, and it just wouldn't bottle up anymore. I even think that, you know, if autistic people had, sorry, I can't really respond on Instagram right now, but if you want to comment in the live stream, please do. I'm getting lots of messages, hang on. But thank you for supporting me as well. Okay, I guess that's one thing I never thought about, was that eventually, as my channel grows, I'm going to start getting messages from people. The more people that sign the petition, I'm going to start getting messages from people. which is great. I just didn't really think about the ADHD side of trying to manage it all. So I'm gonna have to revisit that after the stream and come up with an idea of how I'm gonna manage messages. Thank you for reaching out though and sharing this video. Again, it really means so much to me to, you know, not be alone through this. Yeah, so okay, where was I? Every time I get a distraction, I'm like, oh wait, where were we? What was I doing? Yeah, okay, the NDIS. I feel as though the NDIS is life-changing. Oh, hi Karen, thank you for your comment. It is, honestly, and I mean, at the same time, there was some severe weather events that occurred, I don't know, like maybe a month or so ago, and I got through that. But then this is happening, and it's kind of bringing back a bit of PTSD from the last time. And not to mention that I'm on crutches as well, so that's making it hard too. But yeah, I'm doing the best I can given the circumstances, and I don't really have any other options at this point, so that's kind of my reality. And as hard as that is to accept, I don't really have a choice at this point, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you for commenting, and I really appreciate all the support I'm getting, honestly. It's sort of, sometimes it feels surreal. Like, I'll get a message from someone that genuinely is worried and concerned, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know this person, and they're sending me links to crisis accommodation services and things. Like, hang on, sorry, the wind's just getting a little bad. But yeah, like, I feel as though at the end of the day, there are those services that can help me, but at the same time, they don't have those disability supports in place. So I end up struggling, and I guess because I have an assistance dog, that can make it even trickier, because there's I face discrimination from different housing providers and things. It's really challenging being autistic as well, and not being able to cope with change very well, because living with other people can be very difficult for me as well. There are a lot of nuances to my support needs that I struggle with, and I think, you know, I think as well, all of the well-meaning people that I'm coming across throughout all of this advocacy work that I'm doing, I'm finding, and like, it's really hard because of my autism, but sometimes I get suggested the same things from like 10 people in one day, and I'm trying to make phone calls just to find another avenue, but then I get suggested, you know, why don't you call Link to Home? Why don't you try and call, you know, like a refuge or something like that? And it's like, well, there are ins and outs to this situation that I have to get off the phone because they're trying to help me, and I'm like, I don't have, unfortunately, enough time, and because I'm autistic, I sound blunt and quite, sometimes I might appear rude. I hope I don't, but it's like, I just have to say to people like, hey, like I've got to get off the phone now, because I've tried all of these avenues already, and I'm trying to find something else. So like, as much as you want to help me, I have to go, because I'm wasting time. I'm losing time in the day. Like, I need to try and find, I've got to call somewhere else. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like sorry, the wind's just the rain and everything. But yeah, like, I've tried different options, like being in a motel. I was there for months, and the thing is, there were difficulties with my assistance dog, and trying to like keep her in a motel. She's currently sleeping at the moment, but like trying to keep her quiet in a motel for weeks. It's like, you don't want your dog to be working 24/7 and put their assistance dog vest on all of the time, because they never get downtime. That's too hard of a job for any dog to do. And I mean, they're not allowed to be themselves. Like, having an assistance dog in a motel for weeks just isn't something that's very doable. and it's not fair on her. It's, you know, she's got the zoomies. She wants to run around the room and let out her energy and be a dog and just enjoy her life after she's been working 24/7 with her vest on. And it's like, well, I can't let her do that because she's going to bark, and there'll be people in the hotel that don't like that. It's not something that's appropriate for an assistance dog, because when they're in a hotel environment with you, they have to be on their best behavior because they've got to meet public access standards under the law. Otherwise, they can be asked to leave. I can be asked to leave and take my dog out because they're not meeting public access standards. It's basically, it's kind of cruel having to like expect your dog to do that all the time. Now, the other thing is that the motels and the types of accommodations that Department of Housing will put you in are not disability friendly. They're often, there's often people, like all different people from all walks of life that get put into these houses, and we're all kind of grouped into the, well, not in a house, but like in a motel. We're all kind of grouped into this one place because, hang on. The motels themselves aren't always, like I was saying, disability friendly, and sorry, I'm getting a bit worried about this. If it gets much worse, I'm going to have to stop the stream because I will need to evacuate, and that isn't something I'm looking forward to with my crutches and Chloe and trying to actually navigate out of this space because I'm kind of bunched up right near the tent door. But there's stuff everywhere. I've got a box here, my crutches, there's like stuff all around. I know you can't really see it in the stream, but it is quite cramped. If I want to take one step forward right now, I can't even walk. And I'm sitting on the floor, and my doctor has said don't sit on your feet because the nerve damage is going to get worse. I don't really have a choice right now because there's nowhere else to kind of get around and see it, nowhere to really move. But yeah, I was talking about housing. I'm glad that comment from Karen is there because I would have completely forgotten that I was talking about that because of ADHD. But yeah, it's everybody it gets put in the same sort of space, and there's often, like, you know, it can be quite triggering, like someone like myself that's been through domestic violence, and you can sort of, I don't really know how to explain it. I'm trying not to dissociate even just thinking about it, but the people that you come across in these sorts of motels, there's specific ones that they place us in, and you'll hear yelling, you'll hear screaming. It can be quite traumatizing. So yeah, look, I'm getting there's another comment here. Have you tried finding house sharing options online instead? So because of my disabilities, I really struggle to live with other people. I'm quite a loud vocal stimmer. Like I don't know if everyone watching here has disabilities themselves, but I will not realize how loud I am at night when I'm stimming. So I often pace and repeat words over and over again as a way of self-regulating and things. I've experienced difficulty with living with other people because of that, and it's something that I need to do to regulate myself. It's not something that I think about. I just kind of do it as a way of regulating, and it helps me get to sleep because it helps me let out my ADHD energy. So I'm also not always aware of how loud I am, like when I'm laughing at a show or I'm talking on the phone, and a lot of my friends are living in America, so I will chat with them at night and things, and I don't realize how loud I am. So I also have difficulty sharing spaces, and I have a tendency to hide in my room when I have to leave my room. So what about a granny flat option? quickly sharing. Yeah, so that's actually what I'm looking for, to be honest. A granny flat would be perfect, because, but then also with my support needs and stuff, so that makes it tricky. I would need to be in a granny flat where I would know the owner of the main house, and they could help support me through my NDIS funding. That is ultimately the sort of living arrangement that I'm looking for, but I don't have the NDIS funding to find that yet, and I can't afford to pay someone out of pocket. I don't know where to find that option. There are so many more possibilities that would open to me once I get the funding that I need. But my psychologist has also kind of shared with me the idea of putting out like a radio, like a community radio sort of, I don't know, like post about my situation and requesting what I need, because she's like, surely someone is going to have a granny flat and they can support you, and they could, you know, they could access your funding as like a kind of, the idea is that like someone could be paid a set amount of money each week as a go-to person, so that if I'm struggling, I can sort of call on them and they could go and get my medication for me. They could do little jobs here and there just to help me, like bring my mail to the door and help remind me that it's bin night and take the rubbish out so that I don't forget, things like that. But again, we need the funding, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do until then. But yeah, like maybe there is someone that is out there. I don't really know enough people. Like, there might be someone that's got a space for me, but yeah, it is a good idea. It's honestly something I really need. Yeah, this coffee is so cold now. It's as cold as the air is in the tent, and it's getting quite cold. It's really cold at the moment, to be honest. Yeah, we're looking at, it's about, I don't know, it's getting to be around like 12 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it's cold. It's been colder. It's been much colder. I thought NDIS doesn't typically fund housing. It doesn't, and that's the thing. Like, they say they don't, I was saying this earlier, they say they don't fund housing, but like, they have all these ads are coming up on Facebook. It's like, you could live in this house, but you need the funding, you know, we have people that can support you. There is a problem with those houses though. Some of them are taking 75% of someone's disability support pension in order for people to live in these houses, and it's like, that is leaving people with nothing. How does anyone survive off like whatever's left of their pension? And then they get to live in this house, you know. There are so many problems with a lot of those places, but then there are other places that seem to be doing the right thing, and it's just, how do you find the right hey Brooke. Okay, I've got another comment here, hang on. It sounds to me like your disabilities are pretty debilitating. I know it's a huge challenge, but do you have people that could help you get on the disabilities? So I'm on the pension. I do have a disability support pension, and I'm also working about 4 hours a week when I'm able to. The difficulty here is we're in a cost of living crisis in Australia, but not only that, I've injured my foot now as a result of not having any proper seating, which is why I have these crutches now. I had a pre-existing nerve problem in my right foot, but there's been some changes. I don't have the results right in front of me, but it's my sensory nerve that's now affected. So yeah, like it's just become harder to get around and move and do all of the things, and yeah, all right, so yes, I've already got the pension, but it's not enough to live off, honestly. It really isn't. If I didn't do the 4 hours a week of work, I really wouldn't be able to survive. And I've even got my GoFundMe page to try and help me, because I'm paying for storage costs. I have basically everything I need in storage to help with my foot problem that I can't access because I'm in a tent. Like, how is that even? I don't really understand why I just can't get the funding I need so that I can get into a place that's going to meet my needs. Like, I need, yeah, it's doing my head in. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. That was a notification of some description. But yeah, I am getting so many other comments from different platforms. I appreciate it so much. And the people that are here supporting me, you guys are helping, you know, create change, whether you realize or not how much you're helping to create change. I wouldn't be standing, or not standing, but I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if you weren't supporting me, right? Like, I wouldn't have an audience. I wouldn't have anyone listening to what I have to say. And I think, you know, people say this a lot, but it's the early supporters. It's the people that come on board right at the start and they're really passionate and they're really, I guess, like, able to, they're willing to, like, listen and help, and they're passionate about, you know, supporting. They're the people, I think, that make such a big impact and such a huge difference. I mean, obviously, as things progress and more people become aware of what's going on for me and everything, there'll be more people that feel the same way and that are also really passionate about helping. But in those early days, it can feel so easy to give up. And some days it feels like inevitable. It's like, well, I'm already here in this situation. How much worse could it get? Let's find out. And then, you know, but that's when things can spiral. I guess the whole idea of being resilient is to just keep getting back up every time you fall down. And yeah, like I said, the early supporters, the people that are here helping me from the very get-go, you guys are like the driving force behind this. And I wouldn't still be doing this if I didn't have that support, right? So thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, a lot of people, and even just now, I've had, you know, it's these recommendations for, like, what could help, what could I do next, where could I go. It's appreciated, truly, but then it can be very challenging because, you know, of the nuances that are involved with my situation, to sort of, I don't want to shut everyone down and be like, thanks, but no thanks. Like, that's not going to work for me. That just doesn't feel right. I see people coming out of a place of care and genuine concern, and I honestly, I appreciate that so much. But we're at the point now, let me just fix my light. My light is, I'm so lucky that I have my Google connected in this tent, because I rely on it for my reminders and all sorts of executive function things that I find challenging with ADHD. I don't have all of the lights that I did have in a house, but I at least have one lamp that's connected to Google, so it reminds me that it's getting late, and it dims my lights slightly at a certain time of the day. And it will keep doing that, but I'll have to just keep fixing the lights when it does that. But yeah, so yeah, there are things to be grateful for. There honestly are. Like, I'm still standing. That's something, right? Like, I'm still here fighting for change, and I think we can make it. Like, I feel confident that the system will change. I have this, I don't want to say crazy idea, but I've been telling a few people I know, and if you're watching this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm planning to try and get a meeting with the Prime Minister of Australia and talk to him about my situation directly. And that is a little terrifying, to be honest, but it's also something that I think needs to happen, because how else am I going to keep making impact if I'm not actually talking to the people that can help make the change and the decisions that need to occur. Like, I am a little bit scared, to be honest, but I'm also a little bit like, at this point it's like, well, what else can I do? You know, I've done so much to try and get my support needs met. We've had so many letters submitted to the NDIS from my OT, from my psychologist, like all different people, and yet they're not helping. I feel as though there's not much more I can do, right? My doctor said the longer I stay sitting on my foot in this tent without stretching, without having anywhere to stretch out and rest, the more potential chance there is of this, you know, not getting better. It won't get better. I just feel like it's going to get worse because I'm still putting so much pressure on my joints, right? I need to be sitting in a proper seat. Especially when I'm editing videos or trying to work on my petition, I don't have anywhere to put my laptop. I'm cramped in this little tent. I've got nowhere to even, you know, do work. I recently got an email from TAFE saying that I've basically been withdrawn from my screen and media course because I haven't submitted any work, and that actually really upset me. It upset me. Like, I was like, oh, I tried so hard and I failed this course before, and I've tried to, you know, get my work done, but I have nowhere to do my work, and I'm barely surviving, like, in a tent in winter. And I just feel like I want to say thanks, NDIS, as sarcastically as possible. Thank you for causing me to not be able to finish my TAFE course and get my certificate 4 in screen and media. Last year I had to drop out of the music certificate 4 course I was doing, and that was so hard for me to accept because I put a lot of effort into practicing my keyboard. I was performing, I did a performance and sang in front of so many people on our first day at TAFE, and I had to like leave because I didn't have any stable housing. I didn't have any disability appropriate stable housing, and that's still something I haven't processed, to be honest, because I just want to perform. I was about to say, I don't want to be standing like here talking about this. Oh, the wind's getting bad again. Sorry. But I don't want to have like opportunities continually taken from me. It's not fair. And how many more people are there out there that are struggling like me? How many? Like, you know, how many more people don't have the family that can help them like me? It sucks. It really does. But yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day, this situation it's making me stronger, right? It's giving me courage to stand up, to speak about what's going on. But at the same time, I was saying before, there are days when I feel as though it's eating me, like it's tearing me down, and it's like destroying me. Like, I don't think I said it that way earlier, but that's what it feels like. Sometimes I feel like giving up, and I've just got to remember that every time I fall down, it's an opportunity to get up stronger, because my people, you guys, like people with disabilities, are relying on, you know, voices like mine to speak up about what's going on. Is the NDIS supporting you in other ways? Yes, they are. So I have got support workers. I have support workers, but I don't have them all the time. I'm supposed to have supports every day of the week, but I haven't had any support today. My funding just doesn't have the right, you know, the line item, I guess, if anyone's aware of how funding works. I don't have funding in the right category, might be a better way to put it, for the housing supports that I need. So that is a huge barrier. That's the biggest barrier I'm facing right now. You know, and like, if only I could just fast track through the tribunal, because I'm actually at the tribunal right now. Now, this is the other thing. The NDIS have a lawyer, and I feel like a criminal because they have a lawyer basically to email me all of these, you know, like, I don't even understand it, to be honest. I wish I could explain this. This is where my brain kind of goes, nope, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm in way over my head. I don't have any like support to understand this process. Their lawyer will email me and they'll say, right, you know, the tribunal has said this and that, and you need to provide this documentation to us, and like a timeline of events and like all of this stuff. And it's like, I have ADHD. Do you realize how difficult that is to try and put everything into chronological order? Like, if anyone's been watching this stream from start to finish, you would have already seen how difficult it is for me to stay on track, because I've gotten distracted a handful of times already and forgotten the topic. My brain struggles to hold information in the working memory part of it, so thoughts just kind of, if the tent like starts to get windy and it's at risk of blowing over, I'm putting my arm out, I'm trying to sort of stop it, and then the thought just goes, because I rely on things written down a lot. I'll even have phone calls with people some days, and if I haven't written notes down, everything that happened in that phone call will just go like that, and it's like, oh, what was I talking about? What was that call about? And I'll know bits and pieces of it, but I won't remember all of the things. So I usually have to have someone in the call writing notes for me, and that's helpful because I can also check, like with my autistic needs, I can sort of ask that person, what did that person's tone, like the person on the phone, like what was their tone implying? Were they happy? Were they annoyed? Were they angry? Were they just indifferent? And that helps me to understand those sorts of things that I struggle with because I'm autistic. So yes, I get support with that. I'm just trying to stay on track. I get support with that, and I get obviously, like, I get help to be driven to work and things for the 4 hours a week that I do. And yeah, like I get some support sometimes to get groceries and things like that. I really am grateful for that. And the thing that's really hard as well is that the support workers that are supporting me, they are doing the best they can under the system, but then they're limited in what they can and can't do. Obviously, I can't go and stay at their houses. That's not something that is allowed, right? It would be unethical to do that. There's days when they've, like honestly, if we talk about what my support workers have done for me over the course of my whole time getting NDIS supports, I wouldn't know where to start. I've had people that have worked pretty much the entire day with me before because of a crisis that I've been going through. I've had people that have driven 6 hours for me, with me, to get me to my friend's house and bring me back because I've needed to go there to see her because of my mental health, or because, I don't have a lot of in-person, like, I guess, supports other than my paid supports. And not only that, but they've done a full day and driven me back. Like, that is insane. Like, that's beyond what my brain can fathom. Like, I'm so lucky that I have that level of support, and that I've found people that are, capable of doing that for me. And I think, when life gets chaotic and I get caught up in this whirlwind of everything I'm going through, I can sometimes forget to thank people that have been there to support me. And I think, like, I'm starting to think of a lot of things now. But yeah, I mean, in saying that, those supports are great, but then for those support workers watching me, like, bringing me back to this 10. Sorry, just a second, it's getting windy again. But yeah, like for those support workers bringing me back to this tent and then they go back to their homes, I know that they don't want me to be living like this. No one wants me in this tent that knows me on a personal face-to-face level. The people that have signed my petition don't want me living this way. It's just, and even the people that have supported me through my GoFundMe, like that, I can't even begin to, I'll start getting emotional and then I won't be talking at all. I'm really grateful for all of that support. There were days when I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to afford the campsite and my storage fees, and then a donation would come through and I'd be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, random person. And then I wouldn't even have the capacity to even respond to them directly, like, and I don't know if I've even managed to do that yet, because I'd start getting emotional and I would tell myself, no, Jaz, you can't get emotional right now, don't get emotional, because you've got so much to organize, so much to do, and like there's so much to try and manage, but I think it's hard because, I mean, realistically, the NDIA probably just see us all as numbers, right? They're not looking at situations, and then they're not looking at people's lives as a whole. They're just looking at it as like, okay, like this, I don't even know if they're reading reports, because if they were, then I'm like, wouldn't I have been funded what I needed? Like, it's really challenging. Some days I don't really know, I don't really have words. But yeah, like I've had some psychology through my funding, my occupational therapist as well. But then with all these changes we've just had, our people with disabilities, like I guess our future is a little bit more uncertain, and I hate that, because what they're introducing now with these new NDIS plans, and I would probably do some research on this just in case I've gotten this slightly wrong, because I haven't got anything in front of me to read off, but there are these new plans coming out where the funding will get held for a period of time and slowly kind of given to us in increments. So instead of having the whole year's funding, or the whole, however long the funding period of the plan is, will basically be given to us in little, like, I'm calling them pocket money plans, because it's like, here you go, here's your allowance. But then if you have a disability like mine that fluctuates, what if you have higher needs from one, part of the plan period to another, and then your money that you need to pay your support workers or whatnot is kind of being withheld, and you've got to wait until the next funding period. That just doesn't make sense to me. It's almost like we're being expected to fit into one box again, where, our support needs don't fluctuate. Try being autistic and going into autistic burnout and then trying to survive without the right amount of funding. There might be a month where you don't need as much, and then you could sort of, in the past, you could try and use it when you do need it, right? You'd be saving money until it was needed. But now, I'm not on one of those plans yet, but I'm dreading it. I'm absolutely dreading it, because, yeah, like, I just can't imagine, desperately needing support, having the funding sitting there, but needing to wait until the funding is basically unlocked or released for use. There might be ways around this. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have one of these plans yet. If anyone watching this does, and they'd like to comment on how that works, I would love to hear from you. I actually want to hear from anyone. Like, if you have got something to say, if you've been listening for a bit and you feel like commenting, please comment. I would appreciate that. I'm going to try and keep talking for another, I'm going to say 50 minutes, because this is an important issue. I'm not phased if I lose my voice. I'm starting to feel I need some water, actually. I'm going to have some water. I've got water right here. I will need to try and stretch my foot a bit, because I've got it cushioned at the moment. I've got like some padding under it, but it's starting to hurt. Can I like just, I mean, of course I can, it's my live stream, I suppose, but I would really like to do a shout out to my support workers. You guys, past, present, and even future support workers that are watching this. This is really serious. I mean, you guys, this comes from the heart is what I'm saying. Like, you guys go through so much to just try and help me through this. You guys are resilient, you push on, and you don't give up. And that is why I guess I'm still here too, is that I've got that level of care and support. I have been through times where I thought I wasn't going to make it. Like, mentally, like mental health wise, I felt as though I was at rock bottom. My situation couldn't possibly get any worse, and fast forward to where we are right now. But I really do want to thank you guys absolutely so much from the bottom of my heart, because that level of resilience to just, so like, people have worked so many hours just to help me, you know, and they've been patient, they've been understanding, they've been able to adapt to so many changes. Like, that is remarkable, and not every support worker can do that. So many of you have burnt out just from trying to help me through all this stuff, and I wish that that never happened. I'm also kind of like, in the back of my head, I'm like, I wish this wasn't a live stream, because there are so many things I would, you know, probably think to say after this. Whereas if I'm doing a video, I can edit and make sure I say everything I want to say. But like, I just hope that if you are a support worker that supported me, or even a friend, anyone, even a petition signer, whoever you are, like, if you've donated to my GoFundMe, thank you so much. But also just know that you're doing so much for me. Like, it's, you know, one tiny little, I guess, you know how they say, like, to get to your goals, you've got to take one step at a time? I guess to be an effective advocate, you've got to have one supporter at a time. So really, if it takes that, like, you know, it could take 100 supporters, it could take 1,000. I've got over 1,300 now. But the thing is, without that one step that each individual person takes, we wouldn't get where we are, right? This, like, there's 5 of you watching right now, and that's, oh, there's 6 now, but like, see what I mean? Like, one step, it only takes one little step. Oh, thank you. That's, I appreciate that. Someone's just said that they have a warm, safe space. I really do appreciate that. I'm going to have to have a think about that, and you know, given my disabilities and given everything, I can't really respond to that right now, because I need to know some more information. But if you'd like to send me a private message, I will definitely read that. I also need to be careful about stranger danger and safeguarding myself, because the NDIS are not safeguarding me. So it's up to me to do that myself. I do feel like you might be someone that I know through a group. But again, please send me a private message. Thank you. But also, oh, I don't even know where that is. Yeah. But also, I feel like, yeah, the system's just horrible, isn't it? It really honestly is. It's like, okay, disabled person can stay in a tent through winter. That's not okay. it's not at all okay. But yeah, I'm just gonna see if I can. So I made some kind of one-liners to outline how horrific my situation is. I've been reading these to people lately, and I'm, like at this point, sometimes humor helps me cope. So I kind of make these, I guess they're not even jokes though, but I've just been met with silence by a lot of people, and I think it's because they're like, wait, Jaz, this is a really bad situation. And I'm like, well, I don't want to upset people, but like sometimes it's like, how else do you cope? You got to do what you got to do, right? Like this one, I didn't choose to survive like this. I was sentenced to it. Thanks, NDIS. These are the sorts of things I've been writing. Every night I sleep outside is a policy decision in action. Hashtag fix the NDIS. They said I didn't meet criteria. I guess survival doesn't count. That one hurts. I mean, all of them hurt. Look where I'm living. Like, this is my way of coping. I would hope that someone could at least find some humor in this. This is dark humor, I guess, isn't it? It's real though. It's real. It's not humor. Well, again, like anyone here that's been through traumatic experiences will probably understand that this is how we cope when things are tough. We try and, we do our best. If this is what help looks like, I would hate to see neglect. I'd love to hear which one of these, I guess, I don't know what to call these, factual statements, maybe? I don't know. Are they factual? There's something. Apparently disability support starts after hypothermia. That's another one. Not only did the NDIS say no to me, but they said nothing. And that's the silence that put me here. Except I'm not going to be silent, obviously. I mean, look, I'm making a video about this. This one with the wind. I feel like I need to wait till the wind just batters into the side of my tent to say this one, because it's going to be more meaningful. There's a bit of wind. This tent has better walls than the system that put me here. Just let that one sink in while the mud sinks in underneath the tent. No, there is a lot of mud outside. There's been a lot of flooding. So I didn't run out of hope. I ran out of options, and now I live in a tent. That's truth. This is all, the system's not failing. It's functioning exactly as it was designed to, and broken systems were never built to last. Yeah. The silence from the NDIS is louder than the rain on this tent. I wrote that when it wasn't raining, but now it is, and it kind of just hits home a little. Oh, that was not intended. Sorry, my mask is my mask dropping? I don't know if I'm maybe I'm masking. I'm not camping, I'm collapsing, but I refuse to do it silently. The NDIS has ghosted me harder than my trauma ever could. I qualified for the pain, not the support. There are some that I won't read because they're a little bit, they're a little too dark. So if I unalived here, could someone at least close my file? I was tossing up whether or not to say that one, but ADHD won out and I said it a little impulsively. Yeah, the only thing I've been funded for is disappointment. Well, that one's not true. I've got good support workers. Really grateful for my support workers. But, I mean, I did request ILO funding and not get it. I saw a comment pop up. I will get to that in a second. This tent is officially the only part of my support that didn't go through a review. because they don't really care about it. I remember like there was a tribunal, it was like the initial, not the hearing, because I'm not even at the hearing phase yet. I'm just at the, like, there was like a sit down and chat, like NDIA will chat with you, and then there'll be like the tribunal member present, and it's like a phone call, or like a Zoom meeting, but you don't have the cameras on. This was in summer. I'd nearly collapsed from heat exhaustion. Prior to that, a couple of weeks ago, I think I did, like I kind of think I passed out. A support worker like lifted me out of my tent and got me out, because I was just, I have a condition where I overheat, and I also have hyperhidrosis, which is a problem where I will excessively sweat even if I'm not doing anything. It's pretty good in winter, I don't really notice it, but then in summer it's horrible. And because I'm autistic, I don't realize, my body doesn't like, my brain doesn't really send the right signals to me to be like, oh, Jazz, you're overheating, it's hot in here. Like, I get a delayed sort of, like, what's the word? I get like a delayed realization that I'm overheating, and by that stage, it's usually like extremely hot and I'm like passing out almost. But yeah, so I was saved from the tent by my support worker. I can sort of remember, sorry, it's really windy. I should not be apologizing for the weather. It is what it is. I'm sorry that you guys have to see me going through this, if anything. I'd much rather be making my YouTube shorts and making people laugh by relatable ADHD videos, not me homeless in a tent. For anyone, there's nine viewers. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I would appreciate some comments. If anyone has anything to say, please do. Hang on. Have you considered contacting journalists from big newspapers? Okay, so I did. Oh, I was on a tangent. I was talking about something before I got distracted by the comments, but I'm appreciating the comments. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm doing my best here, especially with all these distractions. I took my ADHD meds to try and focus about 15 minutes before the live stream, but then the wind picked up and blew this basket of food down onto my coffee, and then it wet everything, so that's why I started the stream late. But yeah, so maybe, okay, I've forgotten what I was talking about before, so I'll talk about the journalists. I had reached out to a media outlet, and, oh, sorry, hang on, let me fix the lighting just a second. Media outlet, that's what I'm talking about, before I forget, because I don't want to get distracted. And then I did mention the lights would do this, but oh, the wind is really bad. The wind is so bad right now. Okay, so I'm trying to, I don't want to panic, because I just need to regulate for a second. Yeah, so journalists, right, journalists. Yeah, so I reached out to some journalists, and there was a couple of, I had someone message back, and then it turned out I wasn't in their area, and then they transferred me like over to my local area, where I mentioned what was going on, and I'd been in touch with someone, and then they said, you know, have you had any luck finding anywhere? And I said, no, I haven't, and I explained that I'm still here, and then I didn't hear back from them. And then, so that was kind of the last that there was some emails, there was some text messages before that, but then it just kind of like, it ended. And I was in a Zoom meeting, I don't know how many weeks ago it was, all the weeks kind of just blurring into a big chunk of time now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're in August, wow, that's gone quick. I became homeless in June, so that's gone quick, hasn't it? But yeah, I'm just sort of like, I'm trying to remember about the Zoom meeting. In the Zoom meeting, sorry, my brain sometimes does this because there's just so many thoughts going around in it, and I kind of just get a bit lost. Oh, that does not sound good at all. Hang on a second. Okay. Yeah, so I spoke to about, must have been at least 70 people in the Zoom meeting. It was regarding the NDIS and the yes and no lists that like what they will fund and what they won't fund. And there were a number of journalists in the Zoom meeting, as well as disability advocates. There was like an NDIS support coordinator in there. There were a bunch of different people. It was really good because we had a chance to speak up about things that mattered, and there were different categories. So I went straight into the housing category and I spoke to everyone about what I was going through. I put my camera on and I showed everyone, you know, like, I'm living in a tent, this is my reality, this is what's going on for me. And then after that, we were in those breakout rooms, and you know, like, I wasn't the only one. That was the thing that really stuck with me. There was another person in that meeting that also was in their tent, right? And I could see them sitting in their tent, and I sort of stopped mid-sentence and I was just like, hang on, I don't want to take everyone's time. There's someone else that looks like they're in a similar spot to me, like, what's going on? And they shared what was happening to them, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's some similarities here. That was eye-opening, honestly. That made me think, I'm not alone. There's another person living in a tent and they're speaking up. Like, number one, that is amazing, and I'm so glad that that person also spoke up, but it's sad, right? Like, it's really sad, and it shouldn't be happening, but it is, and like, it is, and that's the reality. And it's like, wow. But yeah, I'm hoping that the more that I kind of talk about what's going on for me, the more awareness there'll be, the more people will go, oh wow, is this actually happening? Because yes, it is happening. And like, people will be able to hopefully step in and help. Honestly, that would be ideal. I just need to move my foot a little. Oh, I moved my camera at the same time. Yeah, I don't want to cause any further damage to my foot. I'm trying so hard to avoid that. I have an ultrasound on Monday to find out if there's any worsening problems with my foot. But yeah, until, I don't know, I actually don't know when or if my foot's going to get any better. I just don't want these crutches anymore because they are hurting my arms, and so frustrating having to get around with them. I can walk, you know, like, short distances and not, sorry, I just need to push this back because the wind's been blowing. It's like my, it's a shoe rack designed as shelves on top of my table here. It was holding the food, but the food blew off. Yes, so I keep forgetting what I'm talking about. Oh, right, okay. So back to that Zoom meeting. When I was in the Zoom meeting, after I chatted with this other person that had been in a tent, that was actually talking from their tent, explaining their similar situation. We were brought out back into the main Zoom, you know, like, everyone was there, and they went around the groups. This is just by memory as well, but they went around the groups and they were like, so what do we have from each group? So in the housing group, like, the person that was facilitating that explained the sorts of struggles that we'd been having and everything, and then basically I was encouraged to speak before anyone else, and I felt really anxious, to be honest. I was just like, oh my gosh, there's like 70 people in this Zoom meeting, and there's going to be journalists from the ABC joining at any minute, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? I'm scared. But then someone, I don't know who it was, but somebody within this Zoom meeting was like, it's like, you got this, Jazz. I don't know if they said it out loud or if they commented, but I just remember someone saying, you've got this, like, or something along those lines, like, you can do it. And I went, yes, I can. And I was like, I so can do this. Like, I'm ready to speak. And then I think I asked, like, are the journalists here yet? And it turns out I'm pretty sure they were. So I started to share my situation. I was like, look, I'm Jaz from Australia. Maybe I didn't say I'm Jaz from Australia, but like, I just said, look, I'm living in a tent, and the NDIS haven't helped me get my housing needs met. My support needs strongly are related to my housing needs. They haven't funded me for individualized living options, which is ILO, and I can't access the housing I need, and I'm living in a tent with my assistance dog. Like, this is not okay. The system needs to, you know, recognize that people like myself are falling through the cracks. We shouldn't be living in tents, especially in the middle of a severe weather, like any time really, but it's just worse because the weather's bad, and I don't know if my tent can withstand that. I'm watching all the walls as they sway like this, and the wind just battering into the sides of it. I don't know if I can actually move this a bit. I'm actually, maybe I shouldn't try, because I'm likely to drop my phone. That happened earlier when I was practicing to set up for this. But yeah, you can probably hear the wind. It's pretty bad out there. I don't know if you can see through here. It's a bit, I mean, it's dark because obviously it's late, but yeah. So anyway, there were some journalists present in that Zoom meeting, and I guess Brian, let me get to your comment really soon. And also there's a description, have a look in the description. I'm homeless because I don't have my funding needs met, and I'm also autistic, so I maybe have, thank you, Karen, but I maybe have misinterpreted what you've said, unless I don't know. I can remove comments. I'm pretty sure I can remove comments. Hang on. Maybe I've got to do that after the stream. But I mean, if the comments, you can report comments if they're not nice. Wow, the wind is crazy. Yeah. Okay. And again, ADHD is kicked in. What was I talking about? The Zoom meeting. I remembered, I think. The Zoom meeting, so I do have the contact details from the journalists that were in the Zoom meeting, and I still need to reach out to them, but then honestly, doing this live stream takes less of my brain's energy than writing an email to journalists. I'm just being 100% honest. Like, if I could at the journalist right now and be like, hey, come watch my live stream, I'm surviving this crazy weather in a tent, that would be so much easier, because they could just see what I'm going through rather than me having to think and like autistically like overthink everything, honestly, and be like, okay, what do they need me to say? Like, how do I explain this so that they understand? But then, you know, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, they already saw me talking in the Zoom meeting, like, so they already know what's going on. They know what's going on for me. But yeah, I do need to do that. I do need to reach out to them. I think as well, there's a little bit of anxiety because once I go to the media, my story is no longer in my hands anymore. It's in the hands of journalists, and I don't want to sort of assume that they wouldn't have my best interests at heart, but from the time that I did study screen and media, sorry, whoa, hang on, oh my gosh. I just don't want that to fall down and crush me, or my phone, and my iPad's down here as well, so I'm able to monitor the comments. But yeah, like I guess giving my story to journalists, it's like then I can't be the narrator as much as it's like you're giving up that choice and control over your, and that's sort of what I learned when I did study screen and media. Like, the 10 just whacked me in the back of the head then. But yeah, it's more about, I guess, making sure that my truth is framed in the way that feels right to me, like, and being able to share as openly as I am here in this live stream, but consistently. I think that makes it scary a little bit to give up that, because I mean NDIS has taken, well, look, they've provided me choice and control with support workers, like I can book my own support workers in, but then they've also taken away choice and control because I'm reduced to living in a tent. And you know, this is the option that gives me the most freedom and the most privacy and the most space to myself that I could find. It doesn't meet my disability needs. It's not designed for long-term like living. No way. No one should be living in a tent long-term. I guess unless they choose to, and it's actually their choice, and they do have other options, like all of the options, but then they just choose that's different, obviously. But for me, like, this was the best of worst scenarios, you know, and it's not at all ideal. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the wind. But yeah, so what else is there? What else is there to talk about? Yeah, I don't know. What else can I say? I'm really glad to see that the chat's being used. Thank you everyone that's been commenting. If you don't know what's going on, have a read of the description. I'm currently homeless, living in a tent while attempting to survive an extreme weather event in New South Wales, Australia. And honestly, I think I'm coping pretty well, considering there were these storms that we had. There were these storms that we had a while ago. Oh, I'm getting like hearts. Thank you. But yeah, there was like storms that we had a couple of months ago, and I remember the first night the wind was just like battering into the tent. I'm just sitting in here going, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be unalived, like this is terrifying. And I put my headphones on, and my headphones are broken, so I can't wear them for long periods because they start pressing into my head. But I had my beanie on, which kind of cushions it a little bit. And I'm just like trying to tune it out. Like, I've got music on, and I'm just thinking like, this could be my last night. That was scary. But then tonight I'm like just streaming. So, I guess I've gotten a bit braver. Is braver a word? My bravery level has increased. That's a better way to put it. Yeah, so I'm thinking, like, how long have we been chatting for now? Oh, we're at 99 minutes. So I'm trying to math. If we keep going for another 20 minutes or so, then we'll be at 2 hours, which is a pretty good effort. I need some more water, just because I'm like, hang on, I'm still talking. It's been a while. Time blindness is a thing with ADHD. I forget that time is passing, and then my voice will probably get more croaky, and I'll be feeling it for days afterwards. So let's drink water. I wonder if I'm just like, what to do to pass the 20 minutes, just because like I said before, the longer I'm here chatting about the fact that I'm homeless, the more awareness we have, the more people will see the video. There's 5 of you watching. Hello everyone, and thank you for supporting me. If you're new here, I actually have never said this before. I've never asked anyone to subscribe to my channel. You're hearing this here first. I've been making videos for years. One of the things is I don't want to ask for subscribers because, and you won't see me do that in any videos that I upload where you know, like in any shorts, in anything like that, because I don't feel that that's the right way to get people to come back and watch videos. I don't think it's you know, like how it doesn't make sense to me. If someone likes my content, then they will naturally subscribe, and I'd much rather get, I guess, you know, more subscribers in that way, knowing that people weren't asked to do it. That feels more authentic to me. So every single one of you, and how many are we at now? 435 people. No one has been asked to subscribe. Out of all of those people, they've just decided to. That means so much more to me. Like, honestly, that is incredible. And yeah, like I really would, I'd feel uncomfortable just, you know, those YouTubers that are out there that are like, oh, like and subscribe if you like, no. I will ask people if they liked the video and like share the video, like it if you like it, share it if you want other people to see it, but like it's up to you really, subscribers, what you do, and non-subscribers, anyone that's watching, it is your choice. Oh, here's Chloe. She's woken up and she's currently trying to climb over. There's nowhere for her to really get through. Can you climb up, Chloe? Come on, you can do it. I'll just move this so you've got some space. And she might need to go to the bathroom, which is going to be logistically tricky for me because I will not be able, well, it's wet, there's mud everywhere. This is actually another problem that comes with having an assistance dog in a tiny tent. Come on, you can do it. I'll hold this so it doesn't fall. She's climbing over the table right now. Come on. Do you want to say hi to everyone? Whoa, okay. Here's Chloe. I don't think she realizes that there's a stream, but yeah, she's been sleeping most of the day. Oh, the wind, oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, the wind is getting bad. That was a little scary, but we're okay. Everything's fine. Aren't we, Chloe? We are totally okay. I just need to brace myself for a sec. It's getting bad again. It's okay, Chloe. I know. It's okay. It's okay. You're okay. It's okay. It's coming back. As one of my online friends often says, Jazz, you are strong. S-T-R-O-N-K. That is what we are. Chloe and I are strong. And it's coming back again. I can hear it, like, I don't know if you guys can hear the wind. It is raging through the trees over that way. Oh. I don't know what this movement here was supposed to do to try and stop it, because my hand could go through the mesh and then I wouldn't have fly screen, which is not a good thing in Australia at all. So for anyone that doesn't know, oh my gosh, hang on, it's coming back. This is falling. Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm trying to save for a bigger tent. I'm also trying to save, well, I was planning to make a GoFundMe to try and get a caravan, like a tiny house on wheels. I haven't done that yet. For anyone watching that's not in Australia, yeah, a caravan is a tiny house on wheels. It's not a car. It doesn't have like a motor in it where you can drive it places, but you tow it behind a car. That would be more stable than a tent. But at the moment, I think immediate needs, given that this tent isn't big enough for me, especially with me being on crutches and not having anywhere to like rest and move around, and just, this keeps on moving, hang on. The wind is so strong. Yeah, like I feel as though, I guess, a bigger tent's gonna give me more space, and there'll be more space for Chloe to walk around in as well. Like she won't be, oh my gosh, this is insane. This is crazy. Just give me a moment to like process the sensory overload from the tent, and I will be back shortly. I would put some kind of music on as like hold music or interlude. Okay. This is like 2 hours into a live stream almost. This is crazy. I don't even know how much phone battery is left on my phone, but I can't reach my charger because it's here and this is as far as it goes. So you know what, I'm grateful I've got power in the tent. I should be grateful. That's the thing. I should be grateful that I have a tent. Some people don't. Some people don't have assistance dogs, and some people really need them, and I am grateful for that. I'm grateful that I've got, you know, my online friends, and I've got an amazing neurodivergent support group that I'm in, and some really awesome people in there. I've got my friends from the ADHD Discord. At this point, I think I'm just trying to rattle off things I'm grateful for because I'm a little bit scared of the wind. And remembering the things that are in place, or the people that are around me that can support me, helps me feel like I can do this. That's the way I cope. That's one of the ways I cope. Other than there was also those comments as well that I was reading out before. I don't know if I got through all of those actually. Shall we revisit that? Yeah, okay, so to the NDIS, I'm not homeless, I'm just aggressively outdoors. My last plan review was so successful that I'm still in the same tent. That one is pretty accurate. I'm thriving by government standards. Yay, NDIS. I'm trying so hard to cope with this. The real assessment is how long you can scream into the void before deciding it's so windy. Before deciding it's probably better to give up because it takes less energy than screaming. Yeah. Apparently I need to be more disabled to get the help I need, but not too disabled, just the sweet spot in between. So for anyone that wants to talk to me about resilience, I call it survival and surviving what no one else wanted to deal with. I am the thing that no one wanted to deal with, because otherwise I would have the funding I needed and I wouldn't be living here in this tent. Oh, here's, okay. So I think what the doctors diagnosed me with my foot is called anterior tarsal tunnel syndrome. They need to test my peroneal nerve, and my next investigation is an ultrasound in the foot and knee. Initially he wanted me to get an ultrasound just on my foot, but now also my knee, given what the nerve conduction study test showed. So basically, I'm just supposed to not sit on my foot, even though there's nowhere else to sit in my tent. Otherwise, further damage could happen, and I mean, I'm worried that these crutches are going to not be good for the long term. If this doesn't get better, I might need a wheelchair, and that's scary, right? Like, what if I need a wheelchair? I wonder if NDIS would even fund a wheelchair. I mean, they're not funding housing, and the fact that I don't have housing supports is, like, you know, causing me to have worse problems in my feet. And then NDIS are like, we don't fund housing, and then this is where that whole thing starts all over again. It's like, well, and why are there housing options? Why are there providers? Why are my support workers finding options for me that I could live in, and they're sending me links to them via email and text and all sorts of things, but I can't access them? Like, even if you guys watching from home, hopefully your home is more stable than mine right now, and you're also safe, because I don't know how bad this is in other places. Like, yeah, hopefully you're all safe. But if you do a quick Google search and you look up like NDIS funded housing, I'm sure something's going to pop up. Like, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go to Google on my iPad and type in NDIS funded housing, and let's see what comes up. Do they do housing? What does Google say? NDIS, you know, if it comes up with nothing, I'm going to be kind of sad. Well, not sad, but I'll, NDIS funded, it might come up with their website, I don't know. NDIS funded housing. So the first link is sponsored on my end. It says, explore NDIS housing near you, secure your NDIS housing. It's from uniting.org. Then we go to the NDIS website, and it talks about housing. Ow. My house just hit me in the back of the head just then. We can go down, and then, you know, there are a bunch of NDIS links here. I don't have the patience to read all of this, but they talk about specialist disability accommodation in one of these links, and supported independent living and individualized living options. That last option is the one that I have been needing for 3 years now, but the NDIA are not helping me, and now I'm in this tent living homelessly, living with autism, ADHD, whatever nerve condition I just read out, which causes pain, and have an assistance dog. I have a communication disorder, PTSD, CPTSD, anxiety, depression, fibromyalgia, and I live in a tent. But anyways, as we scroll down this list that I've just Googled, which is NDIS funded housing, we then get homecaring.com.au, NDIS housing in Sydney, specialist disability accommodation. It's coming up when I Google it. Planpartners.com.au, which appears to be a plan manager, has an article that's come up, 5 NDIS housing options to explore. Medium term accommodation, MTA, is an NDIS support. This is from the Plan Partners website. It's an article. I'm just reading off Google. I haven't clicked into the link yet. Medium term accommodation, MTA, is an NDIS support that can fund up to 3 months in temporary accommodation until your long-term solution is ready for you. Okay, but I'm in a tent. How does that work? How does that even work? I am so confused by the system. The system leaves you without the support you need and expects you to be able to just, I don't know, like, I actually don't know what this system expects. I feel as though the system... Sorry, the wind's bad. Oh, okay. There's so many links here, like connecttocare.com.au, NDIS housing scheme, NDIS accommodation and rental. Chloe might need a drink of water. She's looking a bit... Whoa, okay, careful, Chloe. She's gone back to her bed. There's not many other places she can walk right now. If she goes out there, it's all muddy. Where are you going? What are you doing? Are you looking for a drink? Hang on, let me get you a bowl. Here's a bowl. Oh, no, you've got like, she has a bunch of bowls, hang on. Do you want a drink? I'm losing my voice, yay. I will talk until I lose my voice so that more people are aware of this, because this is a problem, all of it. Sorry, Chloe, I needed to have a sip first because a lot of survival has taught me that I need to put myself first so that I can care for you secondly. If I don't do that, whoa, hang on a minute. Oh, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. There's a coffee out. No, hang on. All right. I'm just holding this so she can have a drink. And hopefully my table doesn't fall because she's standing on my table. It's a little camping table from Kmart. I wish I could film her having a drink right now because it's adorable. And I don't know why she's standing on the table. But who doesn't like doggos? Doggos are awesome. And she was very thirsty. Because I'm sitting here, she couldn't even get to her water. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Like, it's here, she can access it. And of course I'm gonna give her a drink as soon as I'm aware that she's trying to get to it. Normally I wouldn't have this here because I wouldn't be filming. I wouldn't be, you know, and she'd just walk over to it. So she's always got water. There's like lots of bowls around. Hang on, Chloe. Let me whoa, 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 whoa. Got some more. There you go. Oh, okay, hang on a second. I'm going to just put this down, hold this up, and try and juggle everything at once. Now my camera angle's a bit wonky because Chloe, I'm gonna move this coffee. I'm just worried the coffee's gonna get blown off the table. The wind's so strong that it's actually, hang on. Are you finished or more? Let me move those. This is all from the coffee that spilled earlier, and I should have done something with that, but there's no space, there's no, oh my gosh, the wind is bad. Okay, careful, Chloe. There we go. Do you want the bowl just here, hey? Okay, we're almost at 2 hours. She's having another drink. I'm going to attempt to move my camera just to show you guys how cramped it is in here. This was not planned. There's Chloe. I hope she's actually in the shot. Yes, she is. That basket of food also fell down earlier, so thankfully it didn't crush either of us. Sorry, I'm probably really loud. I just realized I'm talking right near the camera. Did you want more water? I don't know if I can do this with one hand. That keeps moving. I'm gonna move that back. Yes, I know. It's hard to open the drink. Hang on. I've got one hand because I'm holding my tripod. Alright, here you go. I don't know if I'm filming the right spot right now. There's your water. Did you want more water? There. She's just like, no, I want something better than water. I want yum yums. Yum yums. Yeah. I don't know what you're doing now, Chloe. I wish there was more space for her to walk around. I wish a lot of things. I wish that, like, I didn't have this, like, yeah, it's horrible. It's a mess. It's just impossible to navigate this space right now. But that is what I am living with. That's what I'm dealing with, I suppose. Let me just fix this. I'm wearing shorts at the moment because hang on a minute. I need to fix that up. How do I get my camera to... I have a really cheap tripod and I'm worried I'm going to snap it if I don't. Well, this is real life tent struggles, isn't it? This is what happens when you don't get the funding you need in your NDIS plan. I've said that so many times this whole time, honestly. But we're almost at the 2-hour mark. There's 4 of you watching. Thank you for supporting me. I'm just gonna open up the stream again. Does anyone have any comments? Should I push this longer than 2 hours? Like, I don't really know. I need to move my foot and get some movement into it again. Okay, that's better. We did it! We passed the 2-hour mark. Wow, that's awesome. I don't know why I'm clapping. Maybe I actually, you know what? I haven't even been able to rest my back for this entire 2 hours. And this is my reality. Every single day I'm in this tent, when it's pouring down rain, where do I go? What do? I stay in here. I sit like this, and then my fibromyalgia pain just flares up because I have nowhere to rest. I don't have any, I can't even fit the chair in here. A really good friend bought me a camp chair. It's literally here, but it's half condensed, like it's half collapsed because it's storing stuff. I can't move the stuff that's being stored on it around. I can't, like, there's nowhere to put it. There is literally nowhere to put it. And even if I do sit in that chair, where do I put my feet? Where do I rest? Like, I need to be able to bring the chair out of the tent, but then when it's raining, I can't because there's nowhere to put the chair. So it's kind of like squished up like this at the moment with clothes on it. And a lot of my clothes got wet, so I need to do some washing, but I don't have any supports. I don't have anyone that can help me right now, so I'm waiting until I do, or until it's still the weather settles down and I'm able to limp out of my tent and actually go and try and do what I need to do. Oh, I just got a really nice message from someone. Thank you. You know who you are. Thank you so much. That is like what's helping me to carry on. Like, thank you. Yeah. This is not ideal. This should not be happening. How many times do I have to say that? Like, Australia, you know, like, after a while, I don't know, I go through phases. Like, at the moment, I'm trying to not dissociate because of the pain. I can try and prop myself up a bit, but my arms are sore from the crutches, so even if I'm trying to, like, sit up, it's hard. Look, Australia, oh, Chloe's getting upset with me now. I think she can see that I'm hitting the point of, like, I don't know how much longer I can sit up like this. I'm gonna have to lay down on my, but can I lay, oh my god. Sorry, it just got really bad. Sorry about that. I don't know why I'm apologizing. Again, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think if you heard Chloe crying a second ago, she's worried about me and she's trained to pick up on my energy levels. As if right on cue, she's just like, she's crying again. I think, yeah, look, my mattress that I'm sleeping on is like this thick. It doesn't really do much. Chloe, I'm going to end the stream really. I will end the stream soon. I will drink more water. She's trained to, like, remind me things, and sometimes I forget that, which is silly because I've had her for 10 years, but see, I'm drinking water. I'm okay now. Her eye contact is super intense right now. She's just like monitoring me. She's like, Jaz, you need to take care of yourself. Like, I am doing my best, Chloe. I am doing my best. Okay. Yeah, look, I definitely need help reaching out to journalists. I need help following through on things. Trying to navigate this with ADHD is a challenge. That's really the honest truth, the truth. My pain's getting so bad. I can't sit here much longer, and Chloe keeps on just staring at me, but I feel like I push myself beyond what I think anyone should. Sometimes I just keep on fighting, because I'm like, if, you know, I've had this thought too, if life throws this stuff at me and I have to endure it, then wouldn't it be worthwhile if my suffering could prevent other people from suffering? That is another thought I've had throughout everything. It's like, well, I could help prevent this. And I remember also thinking that I never wanted to share my struggles online to the degree that I have. But then when the system beats you down to the point where you feel like you can't do anything, like you don't know where to turn, and it's just relentlessly like every little thing you do in your life, and then you get met with a dead end, or you get met with like a broken system that you're like, oh, my support needs can't be met here. Oh, this isn't working because the system's not designed for me. I don't fit the boxes. All of those things happen to you, right? When all of that happens, it gets to the point where, yeah, you sort of just like, you sit back and you're like, okay, well, I guess this is my reality and I don't have a choice here. I've either let it break me, or you know, and it does at times, I was saying this before, but, or you take a stand and you kind of go, all right, what can I do with what I have? How can I use my ADHD brain to be resourceful and try and make the most out of a really, really, really pooey situation? I would like to swear, but I'm trying not to do that on my channel. Hopefully I haven't already done that yet. But, oh, thing keeps falling. But yeah, you sort of just think like, how do I make the most out of the terrible situation that I'm in? And you've got to be creative sometimes. You have to think outside the box. Thank goodness I have ADHD. I think I'm pretty good at doing that. But in saying that, like, you know, what the system's done to me, it's felt like it's destroyed me at times, but at the same time, I've been able to get back up again, stronger each time that that the world has knocked me down. I've been able to, you know, connect with people through sharing my petition, and I've been basically finding out that I'm not alone through this, and that's incredible to know that. It's sad because it means people are struggling as well, but it's incredible. Yeah, and I mean, the very system that put me here homeless in this tent has, oh, sorry, hang on. I feel like I'm just constantly on high alert and I'm getting cold, sorry. Let me just, I'm wearing shorts, but like, yeah, it's getting colder. I just need to, my washing isn't done, and I obviously can't do it throughout this whilst on crutches either. I need to stretch again. But yeah, I guess, just got whacked in the back of the head then. Thanks, crazy weather. Or NDIS, I don't even know anymore. I'm starting to get tired. But yeah, like honestly, the system that tried to break me down, that has pushed me down so many times, is actually the reason that I'm so resilient. I wouldn't have the level of courage that I have if the system didn't, you know, mess me up, I suppose, for lack of a better word. I don't think I'm messed up, but I think it's put me through hell and back, you know. But that again is what's built me to be the person I am. It's put me through circumstances that I wouldn't wish upon anybody, where I've had no choice but to fight back, to fight for my life, even like to just survive. And you know, I guess that like a part of me is grateful for that, but then a part of me is also like, it should never have come to that. And whilst I've got lots of insight into my brain and how it works now, because I've done lots of research on YouTube, learning about ADHD and autism, chatting with people, it's not like I don't have all the answers. If I did, I wouldn't be in this situation right now, right? Like if I knew how to solve this, I wouldn't have to be doing this live stream talking about how the NDIS haven't helped me and I'm homeless in a tent. Yeah. And it sucks. It really does. It really, really sucks. It's okay. All right. Before I go, I'm going to mention some of the things that are hard to do while living in a tent. Other than the ones that you already know about, which is getting around on crutches with a nerve condition. Trying to find anything in here with ADHD is really, really challenging. Chloe, I will stop very soon. She's worried about me. She's trained to pick up on my, you know, I'm going to have a drink. I do talk so much that I lose my voice. It will take a few days to come back, but it's worth it. Awareness is worth it. Oh, it's getting cold. It is getting really, really, really cold. I'm just glad that my tent's still standing. I'm really glad that my tent is still standing. That is what matters. Where is my other... I have another one of these somewhere. I don't know where I put it. Chloe, I will wrap this up. I am trying to wrap this up. Yeah, look, I mean, there's one person watching and I'm pretty sure I know who you are. Thank you for watching this video. And if I don't know who you are, then you are a mystery person and I appreciate you regardless of who you are, obviously. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Other things that are tricky to navigate in here. Yeah, finding things with ADHD. I'm constantly moving stuff back and forth around the entire tent, trying to find items. Whether it's my shoes, where I can't find my noise cancelling headphones. In this small space, you would think it's not hard to lose things, but it is actually really hard because, you know, you put things down for 1 second, you move a box, you move a bag, you open it up, you put things out to find things, and next thing you know, the entire place is a mess and you don't know where your phone is, or you don't know, like I lose chargers a lot. Like I was saying earlier, I work 4 hours a week. I do disability support work myself, as well as sometimes working at a daycare. That's not guaranteed. It's usually just the 4 hours a week of support work. That is my main you know, employment, I suppose, and I absolutely love my job. I have a lot of experience working with autistic children, non-verbal children, and I love what I do so much. It's so it gives me purpose and it helps me to help others because I can use my autistic experiences to help other people, especially kids. Like, I love working with kids. I never had the support I needed as a child, so being able to do that for children means the world to me. Give them a start in life that I didn't have. Yeah. What else? I'm just trying to what else is hard? Finding things. You know, if I go to support someone and I want to have my piano to take over to their house, or maybe I'm going to daycare for a one-off couple of hours shift, I want to be able to take my piano keyboard so I can play music to the kids. But my big keyboard is in storage, and my little keyboard, half the time I don't even know where it is. Is it in this bag, box? Is it under this? Is it like, it's just trying to find items for work You know, I have a puppet of a bird. I don't even know where that is at the moment, but I take my bird puppet and I have a song that goes with it, and then the bird kind of pretends to play the keyboard a little bit, and there's a whole thing that I do for the kids. But, you know, I could leave that in storage and save space in my tent. I could leave my keyboard in storage, but I need that for self-regulation, and I also need it to take to work. So do the kids miss out because I'm in a tent? No. I keep things here because they're needed, or they will be needed. I don't want children to miss out on opportunities just because I'm in a tent. Like, that's not fair on them. You know, I have another, let me just, ow. It's, oh my gosh. Oh. Hang on. The wind just pushed that. Yeah, this isn't good. This is really not good. I need to... I don't think my tent is okay right now. It's bent in a really weird position. I'm going to have to try and have a look at it. I don't know what just happened. It doesn't look good. Chloe keeps staring at me. I need to wrap this up, don't I? So the hardest things about the tent is you just, I guess, I don't know if it can withstand the wind. That's like how am I meant to sleep tonight given this level of wind? Like, and if a branch crashes on me, like, how do I know that someone's gonna find me? What if I can't get out? Like, how will people know that I'm still alive if I'm not unalive? That's scary. I mean, surely someone would notice that a tree branch has crashed down on someone's tent, right? Like, they would see that, but like, well, yeah, it's scary. Oh my gosh. I don't think this wind's getting any better. And the worst part is I don't have anywhere else to go. I don't have anyone I can stay with. I don't really have any other options. This is my only option. Sorry, it looks like it's about to just happen again. I'm probably going to be up all night just monitoring this to make sure that it doesn't break. I'm not going to get much sleep tonight, I don't think. When I think about it, realistically, I'm going to be awake most of the night stressing about this. I could potentially come back and stream a little bit later once I've figured out where I'm going to toilet Chloe, and I should probably eat something because I keep forgetting to eat. But also, cooking is effort. Like, cooking takes energy. Even just heating up noodles, I've got this little tiny like pot up here. I don't know if you can see it. There is a little tiny rice cooker right up here. Yeah, it's currently on the warm setting. I have it's still turned on. Only because that way if I want to make another warm drink, it's not going to take too long. But then I'm always like, what if my ADHD kicks in and I forget to turn that off? And then like, it's too many things to think about. I don't want to be complaining. I shouldn't be, I should be though. See, this is the thing, like, part of me is like, yeah, complain. This is not okay. And then I start thinking, well, there's people worse off. Like, there are people that don't have the things I have in my tent, right? Like, I've got dimmable lighting. Well, I need that because I'm autistic and I can be overloaded if it's, oh my gosh, the wind. I need something to like reinforce the walls, maybe. The table is at risk of being toppled over. Like, I'm worried it's going to crush Chloe. I could always put the table down, but then I need to be able to lift it, and it's pretty heavy. Like if I put it down on its side, it can't blow over and squash anyone, but this is a problem. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's getting worse. It's getting so much worse. I need something warmer on. I'm freezing, it's cold and it's windy and I'm getting sensory overloaded now from the sound. I don't know what that noise is. Something keeps on like clinging. Cling? Is that the right word? It's clanging. Alright, I'm not dissociating. I'm staying present. I am fully present. This is okay. I can get through this. I've gotten through worse. I can do this. This is okay. This is easy, right? I don't know who's watching, but right? Look, I'm surviving. This is fine. But this is a constant thing. This like I cycle through these thoughts constantly. This is the way I cope with this. I don't know any other way. I don't have a car. I don't drive. I can't just go and escape this. I don't know what else to do. So I'm sharing my experiences and I'm trying my best to stay positive and not completely burn out. I am pretty burnt out, but there's just this fight in me that's like, don't give up, don't give up. You can't give up. Why would I give up when I have been fighting this long? The system built me into this resilient person I am. So the system's kind of going to have to deal with that now. It's like a repercussion that happened. Well, is it a bad thing? I don't know. The system doesn't know what's coming for it. I'm not like saying that as a threat or anything. I'm not like, I'm just saying that the system doesn't know the level of resilience that it built within me, and I'm not going to back down. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep pushing on, and I'm going to do my hardest to not give up, because giving up is not an option. Pushing on is the only option, and staying strong in the face of adversity is the way that I do things, because that's how I've done things since I can remember. Even when I felt like giving up, I still got back up. I pushed on, and I have to, right? Because I know my community is relying on me to share my story, to speak my truth, and to be the person that I am destined to be, Chloe's getting frustrated at me again. She's probably like, these ADHD tangents of Jazz's. Yes, I'm losing my voice again. So follow my story. I will try and post an update on my petition. I will also update, alright, I am putting this out there, so I have to follow through. It's called forced accountability. You guys are my witnesses. I will post tomorrow, if I am still alive and I've survived this, I will post an update to my petition to let everyone know that I am sort of, I was going to say safe, but like, safety is not guaranteed right now, is it? No. Yeah, I will post tomorrow. If this becomes my last video, no, I can't go there. I cannot go there. But if it did, alright, if it did, at least I did everything within my capacity to keep fighting. And I would hope that there'd be some kind of legacy of people fighting after me in my, no, I can't talk like this. This is what this does to me. This is what this situation does. I start spiraling. Like, it's just, this is me, raw, unfiltered, Jaz from Australia, coping with hardships and surviving winter in a tent in Australia because the NDIS did not fund me for my housing related support needs. Oh, that's a lot. There's a lot that's been said. I can't even math anymore. How many minutes in are we? I've nearly talked for another half. This has been nearly 2.5 hours. This is the, what? This is how much, this is the energy I'm putting into this petition. This is how much this means to me. maybe I should make a, maybe I need to make another live stream about getting petition signatures and just keep streaming and talking until I reach 2,000 signatures as the next milestone. How does that sound? I think I could do it. I think I could talk for 8 hours straight. No, I probably shouldn't. I'm already losing my voice. Then people could just pop in and out as much as they wanted and see a homeless person, disabilities, talking about... Chloe's worried about me again. I just realized I'm probably talking so loud that the entire campground can probably hear me. I didn't think about that. Oh, that is a perfect example of why I can't necessarily live with other people. I just hope no one's gonna complain. It's not too late yet, is it? Oh my gosh. How did that amount of time? It is 9:35. I started my stream at 7. Well, a little later than 7 because of ADHD, but wow. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna just say that, yeah, everything is a challenge in a tent, except you get to keep your independence. You're not living in a group house, and you get your privacy and your dignity, and you can sort of, yeah, that's better than, you know, I mean, maybe next time I'll chat about the share house that I lived in. The disability share house that I lived in, where I didn't even have funding for it, but they were like, oh, you can come in here. Am I going to talk about this now? Probably not, because Chloe, she's getting my attention, but yeah, like, oh, the wind is bad again. But yeah, like, my hair's kind of annoying me. I keep trying to fix it. I don't know, I think I'm stimming with it. But yeah, like, I'm just, there was a situation where I lived in a share house and I didn't have ILO funding. I was the only person in the house that didn't, and I was treated badly. I was treated differently. Chloe, she's really trying to get my attention now. But yeah, I wasn't treated like everyone else because I didn't have the funding everyone else had, and I was paying private rent, and then eventually the provider that I rented from was like, well, you can't have your support workers beyond this particular time, and you can't do this, and you need to put your stuff here, and this is like, I was like, wow, so I can't even have my support workers here. And there's a lot to this, but that's basically, I was evicted. I got a month notice as per my lease because I didn't, because I didn't want my workers working for that provider. I didn't trust that provider, obviously. There were many reasons. But yeah, they didn't outwardly say why they were evicting me. It was just like, I knew deep down that there were reasons, like, because I refused to, you know, succumb to their crazy rules about not having my workers there, and then they tried to poach my workers, get them to work for them, and yeah, they didn't like that I was advocating for myself. They would have preferred that I stayed quiet, in my opinion. That was what they wanted. They wanted me to just accept what I was given. And I'm like, well, I didn't sign up for this. I signed up with a regular tenancy. Like, yeah, after I spoke up for what I needed, they just, yeah, they gave me the month's notice, and I was kind of relieved, to be honest, because I wasn't happy in that house. I wasn't getting treated fairly. And the poor people that were living there that had ILO funding, it was not individualized living options for them. The person that lived there before me didn't even get a say that I was going to move in. I didn't even get to meet them first, and that was a red flag. From the first day I set foot in that house, it was like, okay, so there's another, like, there's a woman living here, and she doesn't even get to meet me before you bring me into the house. I should have realized, and I kind of did, but I didn't as well because autism, and I just kind of was like, I need somewhere to live. It's not ideal, but like, you know, at least I don't have a provider, you know, and I would, if I had ILO funding, then I would have just gone and looked for a different provider, right? I would have just, but then, like, It's complicated. It is so complicated. Just like I am so complicated a little bit sometimes, but I mean, I'm complicated in the eyes of the NDIS. I'm too complicated because there's no box for me. But yes, okay, so the other thing that I think I should point out too is, I guess, the power of people, the power of collective people and supportive groups and just, I don't know, people that genuinely care is absolutely crucial to getting through things like what I'm going through. And I know I thanked my support workers earlier, but I really do want to thank the people in my life that have stuck around. Is my tent zipped up? This part of it is open, but I'm trying to give the air a place to flow through so that it doesn't batter it down, if that makes sense. Like, I'm trying to create an air tunnel. I have like a fly over the top of it. It does have a leak, and but I've sort of patched up what I can as best I can. And yeah, there's a fly, like if you can, I mean, there's a bag of clothes sitting out here. There's like about this much space, I guess, like this much space is a better way of a visual. There's about that much space. I don't think this light's bright enough to show. There's not much space out there, but that's where my washing is, but it all got wet, so yeah. that's not fun. I think I'm getting sick again. I really need to get my sleeping bag, but it's under all of this stuff, and that means I have to try and walk, and that is hard right now because, you know, crutches and nerve pain. But my tent is like, the rain isn't going to like get through the fly. It's like covering, and it's pinned down over the top of the tent. If I didn't have the fly, that would be a problem. That would be a huge problem, because the tent itself is not waterproof. It's the cover that goes over it that is. Other than the spot where it's ripped. Chloe is bugging me again. But yeah, thank you again to everyone that's, I guess, concerned, worried, and supporting me. I appreciate you. And yeah, if I didn't have supportive groups, or I guess people in my life, then I don't know how I would be coping. Okay, I am Jaz from Australia, autistic ADHDer, disability advocate, and change maker. Get ready for the next chapter. Ooh. Okay, well, that happened. I'm okay. I am safe. I am as safe as oh my gosh. We're not broken, the system is. Help us fight for change. I'm going out. I need to sort some things out. This thing got really bad. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Oh my gosh. I need to end it. Oh my gosh. Oh no. This is really awful. Okay, that just broke. I will fix this. I will, how do I, okay. Yes, okay, it's still on. Bye.